Hello, today I'm going to present you our topic on CS6320 Software Engineering of Web-Based Systems, the Project 2 research presentation. That's going to be on the topic Apache Spark. Our team members are Sasi, Varna, Shravya, Soundarya, and Neeraja. So, what is Apache Spark? And why even this term came into existence? And how did this term come into existence? And which are the companies that are using it? So, all these questions will be answered now. Big data is a very wide term that we would have heard. Big data is a term that is used to refer a huge or a large voluminous amount of data collection that can be broken down. So that can be broken down into simpler computational to uncover examples, patterns, and affiliations. Why do we go for big data? What's the purpose of big data? It gives better experiences either with structured data or semi-structured information. Also, it helps to extract more information in better critical way. What are the blooming technologies in big data? Hadoop, Hive, Spark, Kafka. Do we know why do we even go for big data? Do we know what happens in the internet in a minute? There are so many things that are going on in the internet just in 1 minute. As we can see this image that depicts it, we have around 3.5 million search queries on the Google. We have around 9 lakh logins in the Facebook. We have 4.1 million uploads and downloads in the YouTube. So who handles all this and how is it handled? As a user, when we are using any of the web apps that are hosted on the internet, the only thing that we expect is that the prompt reply from the web app. A web app should respond as quickly as any app on your local machine would do. So who manages all this data? That's why we have such technologies to handle the big data. So what is Apache Spark? It's an open source cluster computing framework. So it's an open source tool which is very powerful in processing engine built around speed, ease of use, and sophisticated analytics. So who started Spark and how did it come into existence? It started at the UC Berkeley in 2010, later was transferred to the Apache Software Foundation in 2013, and it became Apache's top-level project in the year 2014, and later the engineering team at the Databricks used Spark and they set a world record in large-scale sorting. Before Spark, there was a technology named as Hadoop, from which Spark came into existence to overcome the disadvantages of Hadoop. So Hadoop is used to analyze the data sets in the industries. So it's a very simple programming model. It's based on a very simple programming model. It is scalable, it's fault tolerant, flexible. Though it may have all these advantages, there were few disadvantages which Spark was able to overcome. It was developed by the Apache Foundation, as I had informed you before. And in Spark, the processing is done in real time, whereas in Hadoop, it is not. Has been developed to speed up the computational computing software of Hadoop. So Spark was a successor of Hadoop. So once Hadoop came, there were some flaws, and to overcome that, Spark was developed. And it's not that Spark is being replaced or Hadoop is being completely avoided. It's that both of them have been developed for their own purposes. Why Apache Spark is the high to MapReduce in the Hadoop system. So the Hadoop ecosystem uses something called as the MapReduce. So the advances of MapReduce are data locality, tolerance to fault, linear scalability. Why do we say that MapReduce will not be a correct option? For example, take a situation where you have to repeat the same amount of data. You have to iterate over it. Then MapReduce is not an appropriate option. We'll have to go for Spark. You take some other example like when we go for any machine learning algorithms like the SVM, that is a support vector machine. We can't use we can't use Hadoop over there, and we'll have to use Spark because the complex algorithms are not supported by Hadoop. And when we have too many key values generated for any particular map phase, then the MapReduce would not work well. We go for Spark. And what are the features of Spark? So Spark is basically the first important feature is it's polyglot. Polyglot means it supports various high-level APIs of different languages like Scala, Java, Python, and R. You can write your Spark code in any of these languages. And the speed. Spark runs 100 times faster than Hadoop for large data processing. That's a basic advantage. And multiple formats. It supports multiple data formats like the Parquet, JSON, Hive, and Cassandra. The lazy evaluation means that it is delayed until it's absolutely necessary. So it is only in the need of the hour, so only then we can use it. So it's a faster processing of data. Real-time computation. It is real-time computation and it has low latency. Hadoop integration. It is compatible with Hadoop, which makes Spark to run over Hadoop cluster using Yarn for resource scheduling. And machine learning. It contains MLlib, which is machine learning libraries, which makes easy and puts an end for using multiple components like one for processing and other for machine learning. So you can integrate all together as one and use it using Spark. Why Spark? Better developer productivity. It supports the developers because we don't have to specifically look for any particular language developers. They work on different languages, as I said before, Scala, Java, Python, and R, and it gives better performance because of the in-memory storage. High productivity language support. So to demonstrate that, we just have a sample code here which shows Python, Scala, Java. So we have this, which means that it supports all these languages and you can integrate it with any of the languages. Automatic parallelization of complex flows. So at once, there can be several automatic parallelization of work. That is, parallelly several tasks can be done, which are individually complex to do. So even when doing it parallelly, it doesn't mean that the complex tasks have any drawbacks or any negative factors affecting it. It saves time and efforts for the developers. Where is Spark used? So today it's a world where every field has large amount of data. So Spark is currently being used in banking, in government, in healthcare. We use it even in the stock market because the data is continuously changing, constantly iterating over the same data, and even in the field of telecommunication. Do you know the big companies that use Spark? So the first major company that uses Spark is the Pinterest. Pinterest, then the Conviver, Shopify, OpenTable. These are the four major companies that use Spark right now. So once we've seen about Spark, now we're going to see about the Spark workspace, that is the Spark ecosystem. This is nothing but the structure, the database, how it looks, how the components are, and how it works. So as you can see here that Spark is emerging and popular framework, and you can just see the components here. So the components are, it supports these four languages. The figure illustrates the fundamental components. It is mounted on the Spark core engine. So this is the Spark core engine on which these are mounted. The Spark core API function allows the following languages, and engine are mounted on the components perform various activities based on their design and purpose. So we have the Spark SQL in data, we have the Spark streaming, we have the machine learning libraries, we have the graphics. SQL. So specifically designed to perform the structured analysis of data, which is too high in volume. It allows the execution of unaltered Hive queries on already existing Hadoop environment. It consists of four libraries basically. So it consists of the data source API. This is the data source API. It consists of the data frame API. It consists of the data frame API. It consists of the interpreter and the optimizer, which is over here, and the SQL service. We have a short video which demonstrates how we use the Spark SQL. This was a video that was created by one of my teammates. So you can go through the video if you want to install Spark and if you want to run any SQL commands. It's a very short video which is only of 2 to 3 minutes and you can just go through it. Spark streaming. So streaming of data. Its main aim is to publish or stream live data of various sources like Facebook, Twitter, stock market, and some of the other geographical information where the data is constantly changing or where we have to handle a huge amount of data. It performs very perfect results and powerful analytics to achieve high throughput and fault tolerant data processing. More than better processing of information, we also have to aim at fault tolerant data. That is because we should not have any errors in the calculated amounts. The mlib, that is the machine learning lib, it's the machine learning library. It facilitates machine learning, as I had said, because we can integrate all the components together rather than having one component each for other various purposes. The use case. So here, there's a practical application where they use Spark, that is for detecting earthquake. This is the current project that is going on, and the reference for this project is from edureka.co. So here is the flowchart of this. So basically, the earthquake data set is stored, and it is stored in the it's stored online using Spark processing for calculating ROC, and using Spark SQL, we send the bulk alerts. So the huge amount of data that is like the alert messages are sent to people in danger zone. Just in case we had any drawback in the system that we were using here, this particular step would fail, which would lead to a loss of large number of people, which is not appreciated. So our system has to be fault tolerant. That is what I mean to say. So it should be fault tolerant, and the processing of data should be really quick, and successful evacuation in zones of danger before the earthquake actually strikes. So this is a very good usage where they have implemented Spark, and it's a need of the hour right now. So there's another library which is called as the Graph X, and it does the following. So it integrates with developing algorithms to simplify. It is basically the Graph X is basically for the analytics tasks. So when we integrate this, the performance is high, the efficiency is high, and it also enables scalability and reliability in any system. And now I'm going to show you the steps. How do we install Spark into your system? So Spark, as I had said, it's a very uh, volatile. It's a very it adapts to any environment it wants. So it doesn't require any huge software or any pre-installed softwares in your system. It just needs Java to be installed, and you'll have to set the variable paths as we know. And Java 8 installation link is given here if you want to download it. And it uses Hadoop for data processing. There's a specific file called as the winutils.exe. You can download it from online or the link given below. And finally, you'll have to install Spark Apache. We have several versions, but we've tried installing 2.2.0 from the Spark official website. So always choose the latest release version, and the package type, it's pre-built for Apache Hadoop 2.7 or later. Once it is installed on the local system, the first thing that we have to do is to set the variables, the environmental variables. So we do it like this. We have given the value, and we have stored it on the name as Hadoop, and then we'll have to set the variable name as Spark, and then give the location of the bin files. And we'll have to set the system variable which says where the Hadoop bin file is located. So we'll have to do that. And now just execute your Spark on the command prompt. So once you execute it, you will find this symbol. So this depicts that Spark has been installed onto your system. Whenever you install it, you can also find the version that you have installed. Spark at a glance. I'm just going to give a summary of everything. The basic thing that we have to know is that Spark supports various languages like Scala, Java, R, and Python. You can also use Spark to access and analyze Cassandra databases using Spark Cassandra connector. The main companies that are using it are Pinterest, Conviva, OpenTable, and Shopify. These are the major companies that are using it right now. And Apache Spark uses broadcast variables, which eradicates the inevitability of shipping copies of variables from every task and makes the processing faster. There's no need of duplication of any variables. So we have also provided you the link of the official Spark website from where you can get additional information. It was presented by Soundarya, Shravya Kalva, Sasi Varna, and Neeraja Mahalingam. Thank you.